Hi, this is Renee Wallace, and I'm talking to you today about some of the activities I accomplished as an intern with San Diego Christian College as I was finishing my bachelor's degree. And I'm just presenting some of those projects. I was assigned 3 projects, and one of them was the retreat that was to be held for the women. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about our congregational sisterhood and the retreat, as well as other aspects of the sisterhood, as a means to share with you some of the success that we've had, and possibly you could use some of these concepts in your sisterhood, in your congregation. So this is a successful congregational sisterhood. The name of our sisterhood is Achot Belev, which is Sisters of the Heart, and it is the official sisterhood of Kehilat Ariel Messianic Synagogue in San Diego. Some of the things we'll be talking about today, the 4 concepts, are the vision that our sisterhood holds, how we establish our government, how we bring our vision into reality, and the special activities that the sisterhood works on. The vision of Achot Belev, Sisters of the Heart, is to foster intimacy among our sisters and within our congregation. How we do this is by sticking to the foundations of Scripture, specifically 2 Peter 1, 5 through 7, and Titus 2, 3 through 5. Those scriptures really speak to the character of a woman and the character of a believer. So in 2 Peter 1, 5 through 7, it reads, "Try your hardest to furnish your faith with goodness, goodness with knowledge, knowledge with self-control, self-control with perseverance, perseverance with godliness, godliness with brotherly affection, and brotherly affection with love." Those are the characteristics that we are trying to build within each woman, one with the other. In addition, we also want to foster relationships where older women are teaching and really modeling how believers should live. The Titus scripture reads, "They should teach what is good, thus training the younger women to love their husbands and children, to be self-controlled and pure, to take good care of their homes and submit to their husbands. In this way, God's message will not be brought into disgrace." Our government consists of 7 women, a president and vice president that handle the direction, the steering of the actual sisterhood for the year, the secretary who handles record keeping and minutes, and the treasurer that takes care of the finances. And we also have a devotional coordinator, communications coordinator, and events coordinator. The events coordinator takes care of decorations and recruiting assistants to help with various events. The communications coordinator is in charge of making sure the sisterhood is informed of all the opportunities and events that are scheduled, including regular meetings. And the devotional coordinator handles prayer time at the beginning of the meeting, as well as our particular devotional coordinator handled creating an actual devotional book, which was an amazing feat of really genius. And we were so blessed to have that, and I'll talk more about that in a moment. Now, how we bring our vision into reality is through 4 categories. We have regular meetings. Last year we had a devotional book and a women's retreat, and we also have Bible studies in the daytime or evening hours, so that women can meet together outside of meetings. Our elections are handled annually in January. Our meetings are held in a potluck format every other month, and we meet on Shabbat afternoon while the women are there anyway, so it's convenient. And we are only one Messianic synagogue for all of San Diego County, and some of our attendees come from a very long distance. So this is what works for us, is to have it on Shabbat afternoon. It gives the husbands and fathers a time to hang out together as well, maybe take the children to a park or restaurant or something. And it really is important that women have an opportunity to be together on a regular basis. We have icebreaker games during the meetings, and we also accomplish simple celebrations such as bridal showers or baby showers. Sometimes a young person might be entering the military, or someone else might be going out on to the mission field. So we want to be able to bless them and celebrate with them with these life events. We are funded completely. We're completely self-funded. We really strive to not use tithes and offerings that are part of the temple budget to do anything for the sisterhood. And we accomplish this by collecting dues. Our dues are $10 per person per year, and it's not really mandatory. We're not going to tell someone they're not a member if they don't pay the dues, and we trust that the Lord will bring the money that we need, and in fact, He did so and has done so. So it's a great way to not be a burden to the temple, and you'll have more support from your senior pastor or your rabbi if you're not asking for money. The sample service projects that we have done in the past are that we might want to send a care package or a financial gift to young active duty military or college people. We collect food and donate it to the food bank. We hold fundraiser luncheons for special needs within the congregation or within our sisterhood. And we also contribute to congregational projects. The Devotional Project I talked about earlier was an amazing opportunity, vision that our coordinator had. Her name is Moxie. She had an amazing vision of compiling a devotional book that held the testimonies of everyone in our congregation, all the women that were willing to submit something. And what we did is offered everyone a form to fill out that would include a scripture, an illustration of that scripture, a thought for the day, and a prayer, so that each devotional had the same format. And it worked out very well. The only thing I would recommend is that when you request the submissions, that you really emphasize the deadline as much as possible, and that you follow up and follow up and follow up, because these the participants may forget. They have other things going on in their life, and this is something that just needs to be followed up. Some women, their submissions were very late, but we were still able to get them in and get them edited in time, and the book was a great success. At the women's retreat, everyone that attended received a devotional book as part of their package, which was a special treat, and all the additional books that were published were placed in our bookstore and are for sale for $10, and that money goes back to fund the women's retreat. So it was a resounding success. Excuse me, I want to go back. The money goes back to fund the sisterhood. That's what I was saying. The money for this devotional that is sold in the bookstore funds our sisterhood. Now, back to the retreat. The process of the retreat, these 10 steps are an outline that worked very well for us, and so I just want to share them with you. The first thing you want to do is make sure that the date does not conflict with anything else on the calendar. The second thing is that you recruit a committee of at least 3 people. Number 3, you determine the theme and the speaker. This is where there might be some financial considerations, because if the speaker requires a stipend or a love gift, you may want to offer some of your congregants the opportunity to cover that expense, so it's not an expense against the sisterhood funds. The committee president or another member of the retreat committee should have a tracking method for responsibilities, and you should meet at least monthly, starting with a year before the retreat, and to discuss your responsibilities, where you are with accomplishing your goals. Locating a Messianic-friendly site or a Christian-friendly site is important because you really want to make sure that this is a site that is conducive to the overall faith-based nature of your meeting. You don't want to be distracted by wild teenagers or something. Number 6, we conducted a scholarship fundraiser so that the lower income sisters that didn't have the money, I think it was $150 for our retreat, the lower income sisters were then able to obtain scholarships. And again, that way we had the scholarship money and the fund, and we didn't have to ask the temple or you wouldn't have to ask your church then to contribute. And so it worked very well. We created welcome gifts, which included, besides the devotional, which included a small journal and a pen, an extra toothbrush, and some hygiene items. And then finally, you hold your event, and then you debrief with your committee. Our retreat agenda schedule was Friday from 4 p.m. until Sunday at noon, and included dinner on Friday, 3 meals on Saturday, and breakfast on Sunday. We held 4 worship and teaching sessions, one on Friday, 2 on Saturday, and 1 on Sunday. And we included 3 personal testimonies at the retreat, which were inspirational for all of us. The one testimony went very, very long, and so that's something you might want to check is when you offer someone to give their testimony in a public event, you want them to really limit their testimony to probably 10 minutes. I mean, you determine the time, but this person went, so we said 10 minutes and she went about 30 or 40. So it really kind of changed our schedule, but we were flexible and it worked out fine. We also included 2 breakout sessions, which were opportunities for women to nap or walk or swim, but also they could take further classes. We had a journaling class, and we also had a dance workshop because choreographed dance to our worship music is part of our worship at a Messianic synagogue. In addition to the Devotional Project and the retreat, we also have mentoring and scripture study groups where we try to foster relationships with older women meeting younger women, and to have that mentoring type of relationship that also brings in discipleship and scripture and prayer and accountability. We have Bible studies. We share testimonies and stories of victory with one another, and ask people to share their testimonies at our meetings. We also recommend that single women build friendships and married women, so that there's also accountability and kind of an iron sharpening iron concept with those women. But the overall and an overreaching concept and really primary goal is that we are intentionally strengthening relationships between women, and that in our busy schedules and with all the things that all of us have to do, that we take the time to emphasize the importance of building and maintaining community among women, so that no woman feels that she's alone, left out, or just falls through the cracks, so to speak. We want every woman to be included and to have a part in this community. So, to repeat, our vision is to build those relationships with the women within the Kehillah. Our government is an annually elected board of 7, and how we bring our vision into reality is by holding regular meetings, by mentoring relationships, performing service projects, fundraising for special needs, and scripture study. And the special activities that we accomplished last year were we had a devotional book and we held a retreat. So I thank you very much for listening, and God bless you. If you have any questions, you're welcome to email me at Renee Wallace, ReneWallace1 I'd be happy to hear from you. I hope this was a blessing, and I look forward to in the future our sisterhood just doing more and more serving God and building the kingdom. God bless you all.